What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, bigboyfactsjonnytv, and tonight I will go over my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications when I premiere a brand new video at 3 o'clock a.m. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. Let's get started. Now, AEW Dynamite was a good show. That's all I gotta say. It was good. Where else? It says it's Wednesday night. You know what that means. The commentators welcomes us to the entertainment and sports arena in Washington D.C. as the show kicks off the third year of Dynamite. Okay, so we get MJF versus Wheeler Yuta. This was a good match. MJF's music hits. He comes out to a chorus of boos as he makes his way down to the ring and poses to the crowd. They mentioned it's been 129 days since MJF last wrestled. Wheeler Yuta comes out next looking focused and pissed off and starts talking trash before playing the crowd. The crowd is chanting Yuta as MJF avoids a strike and does the Jarrett shrug. MJF shrugs to the crowd and they lock up. MJF in the corner now, and Yuta strikes and follows up with a series of arm drags as MJF hits surprise. Yuta comes back with a drop kick and a nice back suplex. Yuta up top, but now MJF rolls to the opposite corner. MJF distracts the referee and takes advantage with a series of stumps and Irish whips and flips. Yuta into the corner and taunts the crowd. Chin lock now by MJF as the crowd is chanting for Wheeler. Yuta fights out and goes for a German, but MJF reverses into a backbreaker / domination combination for a 2 count as we go to commercial. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, MJF whips Yuta Wheeler in the corner but reverses and MJF goes hard into the turnbuckle. Referee starts counting and MJF is back to his feet first, but Yuta with a roll up for 2. MJF blocks a German and Yuta gets sent to the ropes but comes back and hits the German. He keeps the grip locked in and hits a quadruple Germans. Yuta up top again. Now, but MJ rolls to the other corner. Again, Orange Cassidy. MJF blocks a kick and hits a second rope axe handle to Yuta arm. Yuta again going for a German but gets sent into the ropes and hits with a powerbomb backbreaker 1-2 no. Only a 2 count. MJF now slapping Wheeler and he fires back. Chopping an elbow, but MJF with a thumb to the eye, but Yuta comes back with a big insecurity. Yuta sends MJF to the ropes and gets hit with a sunset flip. As both men trade roll-ups for a series of one counts and ends up in a bridge / backslide combo, but MJF with a tombstone and Yuta rolls through. 2 count. MJF with a roll up for 2. Both men meet in the middle and are down. Bryce Ransenberg starts the 10 count. Referee gets to a 9 count as both men get up. Yuta avoids a strike and head up top for a 3rd time. MJF crouches him on the top turnbuckle and has Yuta set up for the avalanche tombstone, but Yuta bites MJF. Yuta hits a crazy hurricanrana, then follows up with a big toe to the outside. Yuta back to the top as MJF slowly rolls away and flips Yuta off, but he hits it anyways 1-2 no. 2.9 he cleared 3/4 off the freaking ring. Crowd chanting, "This is awesome." Hammer and Avil by Yuta and goes for a seatbelt, but MJF rolls through for the salt of the earth. Yuta crawls to the ropes. MJF cracks back and Yuta taps. So the winner of the match, MJF. This was a good match to kick off the show. After the match, both men stare each other down, and Yuta extends his hand. to MJF. Contemplates it long and hard, but out of nowhere, Lee momentarily attacks him. MJF is pissed. He says, "I didn't tell you to do that." Stokely and Lee have Yuta up for MJF, but William Regal comes down with the brass knucks. He gets in the ring with MJF alone. Now he squares up to him. Crowd chants, "You effed up." MJF trash talks and walks slowly out of the ring and makes his way up the ramp. Regal sneers at him as the commentators run down the rest of the card. Now, for a moment, I thought that MJF turned babyface. That's the part that I only saw. But MJF was pissed off because he wants to because Lee momentarily attacked Wheeler Yuta when Wheeler Yuta was trying to extend his hand to MJF. That's all I gotta say. But it was a good match to kick off the show. Anyway, let's move on. Promo package for the Bryan Danielson / Daniel Garcia versus Jericho / Sammy Guevara tag match that's scheduled for the main event. It runs down the history of Jericho / Bryan Danielson and the Garcia custody battle. Cut to the back with the Jericho Appreciation Society and Daddy Magic is just laying into Daniel Garcia. Jericho says, we thought you everything. We taught you everything. I just hope you make the right decision, buddy." And Danielson, "I'm going to resurrect Ring of Honor, beat you in Tornado, and leave as a Ring of Jericho champ." So we get Black Machismo, Jay Lethal versus Darby Allen. This was a good match too. I ain't gonna lie, this was a good match. Jay Lethal makes his way out first, looking as ready I've ever seen. That Darby Allen's music hits. He's next, and he comes out in the hoodie brown coat. Both men circle each other and hit a standing switch to a stalemate. Both men exchange headlocks and hammerlocks in a nice little technical affair. Jay Lethal sends Darby Allen to the outside, but they're quickly back in, and Darby Allen hits an arm drag and sweeps the leg, and both men in another stalemate. Darby Allen extends his hand, and Jay Lethal kicks him instead and sends Darby Allen into the corner. Darby Allen avoids a strike, but Jay Lethal with a quick drop kick to the knee as Jay Lethal starts to work over the lip with a sick soccer kick, then a shin breaker. Darby Allen crumbles when Jay Lethal tries to Irish whip him. Jay Lethal goes to attack, but Darby Allen with a quick guillotine. Jay Lethal picks him up, but Darby Allen floats over and hits a scorpion death drop 1-2 no. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Jay Lethal is in control, working on Darby Allen's leg, locking it in the corner and stomping it before whipping him across the ring by his leg. Jay Lethal sends Darby Allen up top for a superplex, but Darby Allen fights back with an elbow and Jay Lethal with a huge avalanche dragon screw. Figure 4 from Jay Lethal. Darby Allen is dead center of the ring and just swipes at Jay Lethal, but he ducks. Jay Lethal drags him back in the middle as Darby Allen tries to turn over. He does so and gets the ropes. Darby Allen with a nasty elbow to avoid a lethal injection and hits a code red 1-2 no. Jay Lethal landed on his head after that lethal injection attempt. Sanjay Dutt and San are both out on the stage now, as Jay Lethal says to them to go to the back. Darby Allen with the Hurricanrana for 2. Darby Allen rolls through in the Last Supper 1-2-3. The winner of the match, Darby Allen. This was a good match too. Darby Allen talks to Jay Lethal post-match and offers his hand. Jay Lethal shakes it. He walks up the ramp as his lackeys follows him, and Darby celebrates in the ring. Okay, so we get a video package showcasing the Bassie and Brian Cage, who faces Rollo next for the TNT Championship. So we get the TNT Championship match. The Machine, Brian Cage versus Mr. Mayhem, Warlow. This match, I must say, this match was pretty good. Pretty good match. Brian Cage comes out to a nice reception as he is accompanied by to the ring by Prince Nana, and we cut to the back to see Rollo making his entrance in a very Goldberg esque matter. He comes out to a nice ovation as these two massively meet men are gonna beat the you know what out of each other. Both men size each other up as Cage strikes first and fires away with the shoulders in the corner. Warlow responds with a chucking him in the corner and his shoulders of his own. Both men run into each other like tree trunks. Now a slugfest breaks out as Warlow swings off the ropes with a hurricanrana. Cage trips up Warlow in the ropes and goes for the 619, but Warlow catches him. Warlow slams him into the mat. Warlow going for a powerbomb, but Prince Nana on the apron as Cage comes back and hits a massive sky high for a 2 count as we go to commercial. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Brian Cage has Warlow in the corner as Warlow punches back. Cage whips him, but Warlow hops to the top and hits a whisper in the wind. Warlow with a belly to belly and now heads up to the top rope as Cage catches him. Cage suplex Warlow from the apron into the ring. 2 count. That was incredibly impressive. Wow. Brian Cage sets Warlow up for a drill club, but Warlow catches him, counters with a huge spinebuster 1-2 no. Warlow missed a lariat and Cage hits the F5, hits an F5 2 count. Brian Cage has Warlow in a powerbomb position, but gets smacked with 2 headbutts and a wind up lariat strapped down. Warlow hits Cage Warlow has Cage up in powerbomb sympathy. Crowd chant for one more. Warlow bridge. A second one to Cage as Warlow is pumped up. Is pumped. Warlow signals to the crowd for fourth. Holy smokes! 1, 2, 3. The winner is still your TNT champion, Warlow. This was a pretty good match. Post-match, the Gates of Agni blindsides Warlow, but out comes Samoa Joe. Lightning punches by Joe but the numbers game are too much for Joe, as well as the embassy takes control, but FTR's music hits. Then embassy scurries to the outside as Joe, Wallow, and FTR stands tall. The gates of Agni then stares down FTR as we go to commercial. So we go to commercial break. We cut to a Dr. Britt Baker promo from earlier. She says, as the face of AEW, she is morally obliged to answer that Saraya has not medically cleared her. So let's ship her off again. So that's officially makes it my house. Yours truly, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. So we get a trios match: Athena, Willow, Nightingale, and Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter, Serena Deeb, and Penelope Ford. This was a decent 6-woman tag match. Penelope Ford comes out first, accompanied by Kip Sabian, followed by Serena Deeb and Jamie Hayter, who comes out to a really big pop. She's accompanied by Reba and Baker as Jamie Hayter is getting a babyface reaction. Saraya's music hits. She's managing the trios of faces tonight. First is Willow, who is quite possibly the happiest wrestler in the world, followed by Athena looking awesome as always, and finally Tony Storm comes out to a fairly big pop. The women makes their way to the ring as it looks like we are starting off with Hayter and Willow, but Hater quickly tags out to Ford. Athena tags in, and now both women exchange arms. Drags and flips, and Athena follows with a drop kick. Ford counters an Irish whip, but gets caught in a power slam by Athena. 1-2 no. Athena drags into the corner after a poke by Ford, and Serena Deeb tag in. The crowd is behind Serena Deeb as Athena hits a crossbody and tags in Toni Storm. Toni Storm after Serena Deeb now and just clubbing at the back of Serena Deeb's neck. Toni Storm with Serena in the corner as the face hit a trio of offensive attacks, including a hip attack by Storm. Jamie Hayter distracts Storm now, but as Serena Deeb takes out the knee of Storm, and we go to commercial break. So, back from the break, Serena Deeb is in control with Toni Storm in the chin lock, but Storm rolls out, but Serena Deeb catches her with a snapdragon screw. Serena Deeb has Toni Storm in a Indian deathlock and suplex Athena. Hey, Jamie Hayter with one on Willow. Serena Deeb again on the leg, but Toni Storm fights off and tags in Willow. House of Fire now as Hayter is in Willow with a bear hug with a bear spine buster 2 count. Serena Deeb breaks it up and tags herself in. She gets Willow on the ropes, choking her as it looks like Reba is gonna use the crutches until Saraya stops her. Willow rolls through Serena Deeb with a inside cradle and hits a huge slam. Penelope Ford with a big kick on Willow as Athena, and now as the finisher sprint starts, Jamie Hayter with a big backbreaker to Athena and Willow with a super kick to Ford, but Ford hits one of her own. 1-2 no. Willow barely gets the arm up. Willow sets up for a Dr. Bomb. And hits it 1-2-3. Toni Storm hits Dr. Bomb 1-2-3. The winner of the match, Toni Storm, Willow, Nightingale, and Athena. This was a decent 6-woman tag match. Post-match, Britt Baker is in the ring arguing with Saraya, and they start slugging. Saraya sends Baker to the outside as the faces clear a house, but Reba is trapped. Saraya in the Saraya rocks Reba, and as Baker looks shocked. Rush promo from earlier today with Joe's private party and Rush Jose shows last week highlight regarding private party and the contract temporary. They tell private party to do the right thing. So we get the National Scissoring Day celebration. Listen. Acclaim come out to a massive pop. They talk about being homegrown stars and they hype up National Scissoring Day. The crowd chant, "Oh, scissor me, daddy," to a scissor chant and Daddy a Bleach. Anthony Bones welcomes us to the first ever National Scissors Day. It's brought to you by the most popular team in wrestling and winningest team, the best, homegrown team in AEW, the Acclaim. The Scissors Me Daddy shirts is the #1 seller for merch, which is no surprise. AEW now stands for Acclaim every Wednesday. Anthony Bones, it's time to celebrate, and he knows a thing or two about scissoring, and Anthony Bones is a sultan of scissor. While a few people may be new, he's gonna break it down. He goes through the lore, including it being a sign of a real team, not just a thrown together team like Sneaky, Swerve, and Keith Lee. He says they think they may be popular, but everyone loves the Acclaim. Billy Gunn gets a pop as he says, "This is Daddy's house." He does the million millions from suck it from DX. He says he went to City Hall and he presents them with a key to the city, giant scissors. Billy says no running with scissors, please. As Anthony Bond said, was running. Max Caster says to offer a scissors to your neighbor as the crowd nearly oblige. Max Caster says he wants to talk about greatness in about 30 years ago, when Washington won Super Bowl 17 because his dad was on the team, and his ring is his pride and joy. And Max Caster says he is going to wear this with pride and bring DC together. And everyone hold up your scissors. Everyone looks good in pink, and we are the people's choice. We are the people's voice, and we are doing the first be partition scissors to bring people together. So Swerve Strickland interrupts and says, "This is the dumbest thing I ever seen." He says, "Congrats on the merch. Congrats on being such good role models. Those titles should be on Billy because without him, you wouldn't have one. We get back to business next week in Toronto," and threatens Billy, but Mark Sterling sprints out saying, Rock beats paper." Mark Sterling now interrupts and says, "Paper beats rock." Sterling makes a claim the claim he needed him, and we can join together, and I can represent you against Swerve and seal the deal tonight with a scissors. They all attack him, and Bones with a scissors they drop. Gunn grabs the mic and says, "I accept for next week gladly. You can leave now. We have one more thing to do." All three scissors in the crowd erupts. Backstage, promo package for Death Triangle versus Dark Order for the Trio Championship on Friday. Commercial break interview with Madison Rain and Sky Blue. Madison Rain talks about upcoming stars, including Sky Blue, but Anna Jericho appreciates society and take content interrupt. Sky Blue says they can help with promos and she can help them with wrestling. They go back and forth, and Madison Rain mocks entertainment. So we get El Toro Blanco Rush versus Hangman Adam Page. This match, this match was fine for what it was. Rush storms his way down to the ring, exactly as his name suggests. Hangman comes out to a big pop. The crowd still loves them some cowboy. You know what? He pumps up the crowd as both men sprint at each other and exchange strikes and chops. Thunderous from both men are as men both men and Rush avoids a clothesline and Hangman to the apron, but Rush avoids but Joe grabs Hangman and Rush with a big elbow to Hangman. Rush it says Rouge avoids a clothesline and Hangman to the apron, but Rouge avoids but Joe grabs Hangman and Rouge with a big elbow to Hangman. Rouge working on the outside as Rouge as camera cable whipping Page, and Joe's distracts the referee is now choking Page. Rouge admires his work and sends Page into the barricade as we go to commercial. So back from commercial, Rouge has Page down in the ring, but Page fights back with some punches and catches Rouge in a follow-away slam. Heyman kicks up, but Rouge immediately cuts him off. We see MJF in the back. Rouge sends Page into the corner, but Page floats over and hits a clothesline followed by a plancha. Hangman rolls him back into the ring. Rush tries for a knee, but a Death Valley driver by Page. 2 count. Rush seated in a corner as Page slaps at him, and Rush welcomes the punishment, and and Rush hits a massive forearm and machine chops in the corner. Rush is standing on Page, but Page powers up in Alabama Slam and jackknives him 1-2 no. Very close count there. Page on the apron now, and Jones again hold his leg. Rush counters with a knee and in a huge pile dropper. 2 count. Rush is busted open as Rush sets up for a bullhorn, but Hangman with a big clothesline and a buckshot lariat. 1-2-3. Page wins. The winner of the match, Hangman Adam Page. This match was fine for what it was. Post match, Private Party confronts Page, but Moxley comes out. Moxley and Page have a stare down as Mox says, "I've been waiting for 3 years. 3 years of watching you, study you. I knew this was coming between the two of us. We're beating everyone except each other." On October 18th in Ohio at the arena, I smoked and drank under the bridge, and there will be one last man standing in AEW. I'm going to show up and break your face, choking until you turn blue. You're in the way of me being the one true top guy. I am the best in the world. I respect you. I admire you as a person, but when that bell rings, I ain't got any respect for anything. Page, it says if you're being waited, here's the you going. Max and Paige circle each other, and Mark says, "You're a sweet kid, but your mouth gets you in trouble." Is the is the it? This is your final warning. 13 days watching your mouth. So backstage, Tony is with Willa and Nightingale and says she wants to challenge for the TBS championship at Battle of the Belts. Jay and the baddies come up mocking Willa, but she's coldly states, "I'm going to be the number one and 38-1. Luchasaurus versus Luchasaurus accompanied by Christian Cage versus Frago Del Sol. This was a squash match. Luchasaurus immediately hits a chokeslam and a burning hammer is over. The winner of the match, Luchasaurus. This match was squash. Squash match. Post match, Jungle Boy attacks both men with a chair. Luchasaurus stumbles and Cage has to hold him back. Jungle Boy says, "You're my best friend and everything we've been through. You choose him and broke my heart. But now I'm going to break your fingers, your nose, your arms, your piece of miserable piece until I break you. Pick the time and place. I'll be ready." Kay says, "We could leave you in your own own piss and blood. I told you not to come this week. We are in Washington D.C. and being the only honest person in Washington, it will not be happening in front of those losers. This is next week in my hometown Toronto." Okay. So we get the commentators. I'm sorry. So we get the commentators. Hold on, where I was at? Hold on, chat. Hold on. Hold on, where I was at? I got this. Hold on, give me a few seconds. I got this. Give me a few seconds. Give me a few seconds where I was at. It says hold on, where I was at. Give me a few seconds. It says hold on. I found it. It says it says oh, I found it right here. It says the commentators run down the card for Rampage on Friday. Friday and Battle of the Belts. Video package for Pac and Trent, who will face off for the AEW Atlantic Championship at Battle of the Belts as the commentators talk about next week's Dynamite. So we go to commercial break. The main event of the evening: Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia versus the Ocho, Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guevara. This main event, I must say, this main event was fine for what it was. I'm just gonna say this was fine for what it was. The Judas, the imp tome of sports entertainers, Judas hits as the crowd sings along as Jericho and Sammy make their way to the ring. Jericho reveals the reaction as we see highlights from Bandito / Jericho last week for the Ring of Honor title. I genuinely didn't know how Jericho looks 15 years younger. It's incredible. Daniel Garcia is out next as Jericho applauds him coming out, and then Bryan Danielson comes out to a huge pop. Daniel Garcia came out of the face tunnel, and Bryan Danielson to the heel instead. Interestingly enough, it looks like we're starting off with Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia, but Sammy Guevara quickly tags out to Jericho. Jericho offers his hand, and they exchange the code of honor. Jericho with an arm drag and celebrates. Daniel Garcia counters with some mat wrestling, just taking control and now paint bruising Jericho. Chop battle between the two men with Daniel Garcia getting the upper hand, but Sammy trips him up from ringside. Sammy tags in and unloads on Daniel Garcia and taunts Bryan Danielson. Daniel Garcia reverses a suplex and takes out Sammy's knee and tags in Bryan Danielson. House of Fire as he takes out Jericho and goes to work on Sammy Guevara with a chop. Bryan Danielson moonsault out of the corner, and suicide dive into Jericho. Bryan Danielson elbows Sammy Guevara, who tries to slam as we go to commercial. Back from commercial, Bryan Danielson is up top, but Jericho distracts him, and Sammy Guevara has Bryan Danielson up top now, and hits the Spanish fly on Bryan Danielson. 1-2 no. Bryan Danielson gets the shoulders up. Sammy punching away at Bryan Danielson, and now tags in. Jericho, they double team Bryan and pause after a maximum male model. Jericho and Sammy Guevara do a quick tag as Sammy and Bryan Danielson collide in the center of the ring. Hot tag to Jericho and Daniel Garcia as they stare down and fell as Daniel Garcia whoops Sammy Guevara away as they both start with a hockey fight. Daniel Garcia with rapid stumps in the corner as Daniel Garcia is pumped in a huge belly to back suplex on Jericho, followed with a PK by Garcia. Goes for another, and Jericho catches in the walls, but Daniel Garcia rolls through into a Dragon Slayer. Sammy Guevara with a super kick, and then a big Fosbury flop, but Bryan Danielson Jericho with a cover for a 2 count. Jericho with a chop as Daniel Garcia takes it and has a few of his own. Jericho avoids a drop kick, but Daniel Garcia counters Jericho. Sammy Guevara tags in, and Daniel Garcia catches him as he went for a cutter. Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson have Jericho and Sammy Guevara in a dual hammer and Alvaro elbow. The crowd is going nuts. Bryan and Garcia have Sammy up top for a double suplex, but Sammy flips through and hits a standing Spanish fly, but Bryan Danielson in a kick to Garcia. 1-2 no. Garcia just kicks out. Sammy has Sammy has Garcia now for the GTH, but Garcia blocks it into a sick pile driver. 1-2. Jericho pulls him out, but Bryan Danielson flies through with a knee. Sammy Guevara and Garcia started fighting, exchanging kicks as both men are down. Jericho slams Bryan into a table, then suplex him through it. Back in the ring, Sammy Guevara with their high knee in the GTH. Sammy doesn't cover him, but instead turns Garcia. Sammy up top now, going for a shooting star, but Daniel Garcia with the knees up. Dragon Slayer to Sammy's center of the ring. Garcia has it locked deep, but Jericho hits him with the ROH belt. The referee didn't see it, and Sammy covers 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match, Ocho Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. This main event was fine for what it was. Jericho stares at Daniel Garcia post-match as he looks upset that he had to cheat, but then quickly leaves the ring to celebrate with the Jericho Appreciation Society as we go off as AEW Dynamite goes off the air. But like I said earlier, AEW Dynamite was a good show. And that's all I got to say from here. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my AEW Dynamite review and highlights, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below on what are your thoughts on AEW Dynamite tonight. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications when I premiere a brand new video at 3 o'clock Eastern time in the morning. And follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch. And Discord down below in the description. And that's all I got to say from here. Tomorrow I will be going live on YouTube. Then after that, I will be going live on Twitch for some WWE 2K 2K22. And that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, this your boy bigboyfactsjonnytv. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang.